It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Dan Campbell's absolutely correct. Woodward Sports, it is time to go. More specifically, the Braylon Edwards Show. As you notice, Justin Satawa on the desk today. Prayers up for our brother, our co-host, Anson Wells.
Yes, sir.
Family situation. Give him your prayers. You know he loves you. I want you to love him back. Give him some prayers.
That's
we
right.
are praying for you and yours,
for you,
Anson,
Anson.
and we will see you whenever we need to see you. But with that said, it's a lot to talk about today. So excited. But first, you know we always do the rounds. Sweet Potato Cam, how you feeling, brother?
What's up, B? Another day. It is gorgeous to be alive. A little sad, though, because I feel like the summer is winding down.
It is winding down a little bit, hence why you went to Belle Isle yesterday. How was the
You
Belle Isle
know it.
experience?
Yes, Belle Isle was fantastic. Had a nice session with my boy there. Shout out to the other bomber, J-Bomb, that is.
And there we go. B-Lad is now doing the TD today since none other than Justin Tower is on the desk. We'll get to B-Lad in a minute. He's getting the show rocking
Yes,
and rolling
Sirski.
for us. And oh boy, he has got some surprises for you. But I mentioned him. He's on the desk. And this is the first time that Justin and I have been on the desk today. So I say to you, one, welcome back. And two, let's get it, brother.
Yes, sir. I'm excited. Got a lot of football to talk about. No better time. Hey, fall is in the air because we're inching towards real football season as we are now 2 weeks away from college football and 3 weeks from NFL start. So I'm pretty damn excited to be. I can't lie to you.
100%. Hey, before we get into the story about where you were, ladies and gentlemen, you see the jersey. Anson may not be here, but the spirit is.
Oh, don't worry. I got the counter right here.
There we go.
Let's go. Look at that.
Yes.
We got the counter. We got the numbers. The Jameer Gibbs jersey.
So-
It is open and for business, and we want this for someone in this chat to take this home as a beautiful jersey signed by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jameer Gibbs. Now, you weren't with us yesterday, but you talk about fall, you talk about football season. Well, you were in a city that knows both tremendously well.
He
and that's
was. I got
Kansas
the
City,
pictures
brother.
rolled.
Oh,
locked,
yeah.
loaded right
So
here.
Talk about
shout
that.
out to my pops. You know, we go on a baseball
man.
tour every year to a new stadium. And so this year we went to Kansas City to go see Kauffman Stadium. We hit the Negro Leagues Hall of Fame in the morning, which
Okay.
was sweet.
How was that?
That was super cool. That so much history there.
Yeah.
They had a documentary that was narrated by James Earl Jones.
Rest in peace, University of Michigan.
Yep.
There you
Rest
go.
in peace. Absolute legend. Voice of Darth Vader as well. Can't forget.
Ooh.
And
Shout
then
out.
Wow.
I mean, just the history, learning more about Satchel Paige and the rest of the history behind the Negro Leagues. Also, gender equality as well. 3 women played in the Negro Leagues as well. So they also fought gender barriers as well. So just a lot of cool things in that experience. Obviously, you know, I'm a sports nerd,
Yeah.
not necessarily a history buff. So seeing like how American history and sports history
Yeah.
intertwined. I'm also huge Jackie Robinson fan. It's crazy
Shout out.
looking at the pictures of the of like back in the day, and then seeing how well they recreated like Ranch Ricky and all the characters in the movie, like the Phillies manager in the movie 42,
yeah.
like that they are so accurately
You're on.
depicted, and that's why I like that movie so much. But and then
Really, really
obviously. You know, we went to Tour Arrowhead. It was cool seeing a stadium that's seen some Super Bowls in it.
You think?
And AFC championships. And their ownership cares a lot about the fans. Like throughout the tour, like there's multiple times where like they have the Chiefs Hall of Fame where it's free to go in there and see the Super Bowl trophies and to get different gear from different people in their Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Thought that was really cool. Lamar Hunt, the trophy's named after him
100%.
in the AFC, and it was cool learning about the foolish four or something.
The Foolish Four.
Yeah, the group of AFL owners that were called like dumb for competing with the NFL and then turned themselves into billions of dollars of franchises. So I think that's very cool in the story of how the AFL and the NFL merged. I didn't really know that deep how that went.
Yeah.
And so learning that about the Chiefs, and then obviously the stadium is gorgeous. And same with Kauffman Stadium, and where we're leading to is like these stadiums are both gorgeous, especially for being built in the 60s and the 70s.
No doubt
Like
about
I
it.
can't this is a nicer stadium than Comerica Park in terms of Kauffman Stadium, and
Facts.
Arrowhead has just as many luxuries as Ford Field, honestly, and it's a natural grass field. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I understand that around it isn't the most attractive area, but these are pillars of sporting history, and that's where to me where when we lost Joe Louis Arena, that stadium was outdated. Like that,
100%.
it was too small.
You needed an update.
That's different.
Yeah.
Like these stadiums have the ability to still have big capacities, have the luxury suite, for whatever the partnerships and all that type of jazz. And that's where it really just hurts my soul to see that we're gonna lose such beautiful stadiums. Like the Chiefs Stadium is gorgeous, and we have to go on the field too, and it the way that it is literally deaf. I bet why it's so loud is because it's right on top of you, and I'd love to hear your perspective on that as someone who played there, and how loud it gets because of how the incline is on the stadium.
Yeah, 1,000%. A lot to digest in there. I'm going to start off with the Satchel Paige stuff. Do yourself a favor. You want to go back and you want to look at some stats, something that impresses you, look at Satchel Paige rookie year in the MLB. One rookie year at 41 years old. I want you to go look at his wins, his losses, his ERA, the whole 9 yards. Satchel Paige was him and always will be.
Yeah.
As you talk about Arrowhead, man, Arrowhead's a dope stadium. It's wonderful. You talk about crowd engagement, the loudness, Chiefs, they are loud as I don't know what, but it feels great. It's a place where you want to make a play. If you're on defense, you want to knock somebody's head off. You want to get a pick six. You want to, oh, wait, we did that in 2023. That's why the Lions love Arrowhead. But it is a fun stadium to be around. Stadiums like that shouldn't just disappear. Stadiums like that shouldn't be knocked down. I got a couple stadiums.
It's also considered a museum.
And it should be. In terms of what they did, the franchise, the story, history, still in the family, if you will. They've added some more championships, like you said.
No, it's literally a museum
Arrowhead
because it
is
has
that.
enough art that it is considered an art museum.
Okay. Here's four
It's
stadiums.
history, baby.
Here's four stadiums,
cool.
including Arrowhead, the museum, that I think shouldn't be be torn down. I think these are stadiums that every year you need to find a way to elevate, adapt, adjust, and update. One, Soldier Field. You may not like the Chicago Bears, and we know where they're going. They're now the Hammond Bears. But Soldier Field has experienced so much history over the years.
So
It's
true.
right downtown. Well, not downtown, but it's off of downtown, off of the freeway. So much history. It's a special stadium. I hate the grass, but I like the stadium as a whole, and they do come out to play.
What's so bad about the grass?
It's super thick, and they do it on purpose. They keep the grass thick. It plays to the defense. It plays to a slow game. It plays to, it's kind of like how Notre Dame.
That's
tried to
interesting.
1,000%.
Probably gets pretty
You can
hard
be a
tracked.
grass field and still be fast. Like my next stadium that should never be closed, and that's Lambeau Field. You want to talk about museum. You want to talk about that aura, that riz. Yeah, stadiums can have riz, and Lambeau has that. Very first time I played there, I was just like, so you can hear the echoes if you want to. And then for me, it's Mile High. Mile High is a stadium that has a name that's changed through the years. You can drop all the sponsorships. For me, it's Mile High. Something special about that stadium. But it is a bitch when I'm talking about in terms of getting tired and getting winded. That Mile High, it is a real thing. It takes a long time to catch a second wind. Those are four stadiums, including Arrowhead, I think should always be in existence.
And it's interesting that you pick all of those stadiums because they all have something unique about them. And so the Chiefs, you have the incline, and then also the crown of the field. That was something that was really interesting when I was down on field
It's like
level.
Oregon,
Yeah,
Watson Stadium.
It can keep up to 7 inches of rainwater on the playing surface without it truly starting to puddle, which I think is really cool.
Look at you nerding out. Look at you nerding out over the schematics of the stadium.
And Mile High, obviously the altitude. Then what were the other ones?
Well,
Soldier Field.
Soldier Field, for sure.
Cold wind chill. Cold
Coming off Lake Michigan
Yeah,
is
coldest.
it?
Oh, yeah.
TCH, brother.
Lambeau Field is the frozen tundra, obviously. I think that I completely agree. That's a great list, B. I think on the baseball side of things, because I can speak to that a little more, I think at this point, Wrigley, I think they can where it is, you can't move it anywhere else in Chicago. I think we're seeing that with the
So
Bears. And you have to find a way to renovate it, though, because I will say it has the most crammed hallways I've ever been to in a stadium.
Yeah, 1,000%. I was thinking of some stadiums that should get torn down as relates on the NFL side.
Oh, yeah.
Tear down Ford Field. Tear down Ford Field. Tear down Ford Field. Tear down MTN Bank. That's also where the Baltimore Ravens play. I don't like that stadium. I never had. They have old turf, has an old field to it. Tear down the Superdome eventually. And I understand that this is. I understand this is
iconic.
I understand this is one of the eighth wonder of the world and all the things. That stadium has survived Katrina. It has survived hurricanes. It has survived other things. I think at some point in time, you can what's the word I'm looking for?
Recreate?
You can retire it and then build it up in a different image. But that stadium itself at some point needs to go. And Raymond James, that's where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play. That stadium is so old and it's so cheesy with the Pirates in the background.
No, you gotta have the boat. No,
tear it down.
Raymond James.
Tear it down.
Raymond
It has
James
to have the
lit.
boat, Braylon. No.
They can get a new boat.
Okay, that's fine. As
They
long
got
as
money,
have
they
a
got
boat.
bread. They just won a championship in 2020.
Little boat.
Give me a new boat
Sorry.
if you
I'll
want to.
stop.
You gotta tear it down. Gotta tear it down.
I'm a fan of Raymond James, low key. I've been there a couple times.
It's cool. I've been there, but it's gotten older and older every time I played there. I played there in the Outback Bowl in 2002 as a player. I went to a couple games. I had some friends play for the Buccaneers. I played in that stadium.
It feels like a college stadium kind of.
It is.
Yeah.
Kind of like Central, where Central Florida plays.
Yeah.
But we tease it. It's just some insight of your trip. I'm glad you had fun. Glad you're back. And now it's time to talk about, you guessed it, the Detroit Lions, who are
Lions, baby.
too. Let's do this. Let's do a quick commercial break, get on track, and when we come back, we can clean this up. We got a lot of sound out of Dan Campbell talking about some subject matter that we've talked about, whether it's the offensive line, whether it's Isaac Tesla, whether it's the defensive line, and whether it's who's standing out right now. We'll get a message in from Planet Fitness, and when we come back, Lions Talk is on the way. You want to work out, you want to get in shape, you want to feel good about it, but you want to do it at your own pace? Come to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. There are now over 60 Planet Fitnesses around the state of Michigan. Over 60. That means they keep popping up because that gym knows exactly what they are doing. Gym squeaky clean, and there are trainers on staff to help you in your fitness journey. Also, there's no judgment. Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone. So show up, pull up, and they will make you feel at home. Planet Fitness, remember, we are all strong on this planet, and that planet is Planet Fitness.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Let me tell you about all day IPA at Founders. Look, I was out at Breakaway out in Grand Rapids, and they were sponsored by Breakaway, so I enjoyed multiple Founders IPAs and their Mortal Bloom IPA as well. And let me tell you, on a hot summer day, it was 80 degrees out there. It was hitting hard. 15-year anniversary, so you know they know how it's done. Crisp, refreshing, perfect balanced taste. 4.7 ABV, built to go the distance. So get a $5 short at any Art and Jake's location in Michigan on Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Please drink responsibly.
And tell us how you can see better.
And, well, I like to see better to make sure that I can get to Art and Jake's to get myself a nice Founders. So if you need to make sure to get your eyes better, there's no better place to do it than the Y'all Know Eye Center. If you've been thinking about LASIK, trust the experts that have been getting it done for over 30 years. our own Woodward Sports, Darren McCarty, trusted Dr. Yaldo for his vision, and he has been raving about the results ever since. I mean, look at him. Look at that smile on the screen, man. That looks like a happy Darren McCarty, and a happy Darren McCarty is the best Darren McCarty. So if you want to be happy like him, call today at 248-553-9800 to schedule your free consultation or visit yaldoeyecenter.com. LASIK for just $1,999 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Yaldo Eye Center, the vision experts.
Welcome back to the show. D-Mac actually is a very, very happy, cheerful spirit. Really good guy. Also super zen.
People don't even know.
100%. Got to be a little bit more zen, like 25. Welcome back to the show. Talk about the Detroit Lions, where Dan Campbell went to the podium yesterday and today and had a lot of conversation, had a lot to say about topics that we've talked about. I figure we start here. Joint practices are no more for Dan Campbell. Doesn't want to deal in the joint practices, but he also talked about some of the starters not playing in this upcoming preseason game against the Commanders. Here's the conversation, and when we come back, we'll talk about his confidence level in not practicing with the joint practices.
Before, I think even 3 straight seasons, you've always had the joint practices and whatnot. How do you gauge and know if your team is getting exactly what they were getting with that type of heightened practice routine?
Yeah, well, I think when you I feel really good about that with where we're at right now. I think what you get is, you do get different types of players, different skill sets, very good players. Like Houston, for example. Man, you get Will Anderson coming in here. That's awesome. Like, that's a different guy who's an elite player. But I'm also like, Sewell and Hutch go against each other every day. I mean, tell me what's going to be better. You're just talking about the competition of it and those guys working their craft against each other. Aleem McNeil over there, Ratledge is an up-and-coming player. You got Jaw out of the backfield. You got to cover him. Jack Campbell at Mike, pressure, coverage, all these things, man. St. Brown, J-Mo. I think we've got pretty good competition here. And for this year, I like what we're doing. I do.
At what point, maybe this week, you'll make a decision on starters getting time Saturday?
I've kind of already done that a little bit. I'm not going to tell you guys, but not everybody will play. I would tell you that. We are going to play a significant amount of the starters. That's my plan right now.
You want to tell the fans?
What's that?
I said you can tell the fans.
No, not yet. How we going?
The walk-off answer today. Looks like he's having some fun at training camp. Shout out to him. It's funny when you've been in this space for so long, you can hear voices and know exactly who that was. I didn't need anybody to tell me that was Jennifer Hammond, a.k.a. The Hammer, asking that question. But he brings up a valid point. You talk about the joint practices and wanting to shut those down. When you have Aiden Hutchinson going against Penei Sewell, when you have your DBs going against Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Isaac Tesla to a certain extent, when you got the linebackers going against Sam Laporta, and vice versa, Sam Laporta going against Jack Campbell, you have that high level of competition that provides you the luxury of having those in-game like reps, if you will. But with that being said, he said, I feel really good about this. Do you feel good about not having the joint practices this year?
I think that they didn't necessarily do much, and I think that you're going to offer a very interesting perspective because I'm assuming you played in joint practices throughout your career. But to me, an outsider, from last year's joint practices, it seemed like we didn't really get much out of them. It seemed like we were just abusing every team that we played in the joint practice. That's all we heard is, the defense looks fantastic. Yeah. Larry Borum can't block Hutch. All that type of stuff. And then we got to the season, and it didn't look like that at all. I think that during a preseason, yes, as it is important to have in-game reps, it's more important to hammer down the system and make sure that you're all on the same page for when it is time to unleash everything, you are ready to go and everyone's on the same page. And I didn't think we had the right synergy going into the season last year, whether that's offense or defense.
Yeah, 100%. When you have these joint scrimmages and joint practices, in one sense, you're going against different guys, you're going against different offenses, you're going against different defenses, you're seeing different things come at you, and it's a breakup of what training camp is. You go against the same guys for 4 weeks, those guys and those guys only. So in one regard, It is cool to have a breakup, but with that being said, it's not exactly a in-game conversation. It's not exactly a comparative to a preseason game where you're going out, you're going through all the motions of getting to the arena, lining up, putting the uniform on, going through stretches, actually calling plays, being in a huddle, a real live 2-minute drill situation, a real live tackling drill situation. A lot of times with those, it's beep, blow the whistle because we think he might have been sacked, or beep, blow the whistle because we think he might have been down, and you also risk the injury value level for that. With him not playing certain starters in games, are you comfortable enough, though, B-Lad, with the fact that they're not doing joint practices? Because you know who's not going to play when he says some guys will play the majority. You know that's going to be St. Brown. You know that's going to be Aiden, Jack Campbell, Jared Goff, and Panay. Those are the guys that aren't playing cut the deck. You comfortable? And Gibbs, my apologies. He got it. How could I fit the guy that got the bag? Are you comfortable with no joint practices and then those guys not playing in the preseason?
I mean, yeah, to a certain extent, like, Justin hit it on the head. I mean, they completely saw that they saw no worth in the joint practices. And, that's to a certain extent okay. He mentioned it, too. It's Penne versus Hutch every day. Like, that's best of the best going up against each other. You know what I'm saying?
That's one verse. That's a 1 verse 5 or 1 verse 4, wherever you want to rank Hutch in that scale.
That's exactly right.
That's tough.
And so, like, that generally, gives them a good understanding because they're not going to be going up against a Penei Sewell every week. Like, Hutch isn't going to be lining up against a Penei Sewell every single week. So that the fact they get to, iron sharpens iron type of mentality there, I feel like that would do enough for players like them because they've been in the league. They've obviously done it at a high level. The players that I am expected to see, though, are guys like Tyleik Williams, Aleem McNeil, those guys that, were kind of on a down year last year, but have more to prove left in the tank. They're going to get them some reps early because maybe those are the guys that aren't going up against the best look on offense. You got to think about the matchups that they're seeing in camp versus what they are, actually in the playing field in the line of fire. So.
Yeah. Juice, who are the starters that you want to see? Who are some guys that start for sure? They're not up for I'm fighting for position. I'm fighting to be the starter or it's being the backup. I know I'm starting. Who are those guys that you want to see play in this game this coming Saturday?
Sure. So surefire starters who I think should play on Saturdays.
And Chet, same for you. Who's some guys you want to see play?
So you're saying not like the Scruggs is like you want guys who are legitimate starters.
Scruggs, I mean, we're going to get to Scruggs because I actually feel that he might be closer to a starter than he is fighting for a job, but we'll get to that in a second. Go ahead. Aleem McNeil is a guy that keeps coming up.
Tyleik for sure. Yeah. I definitely want to see Tyleik. I want to see more Devin White. I thought that he was good getting him initiated into the defense last week. Derek Barnes. Yeah, facts. Derek Barnes. Definitely want to see a little Derek Barnes. Get him acclimated to his new role with Devin White in the defense.
Corners? Rock Yassin?
I mean, but I know what I'm going to get with Rock Yassin. Do I really need to see him out there? Probably not. DJ Reed coming off injury. I want to see him once. I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's pretty good.
DJ Reed is a good one. I don't think Jamison Williams will be a part of that as well. I think he'll be out. But I think DJ Reed is a really good one. Devin White, want to see what that 4.25 looks like. The more and more we talk about the 4.25, as Rando asked me the other day, I'm excited about that. That gives this defense a chance to fly around. That gives this defense a chance to be very fast, very active, and rely on their down four. And they got the two-headed monster. Now they're going 4.25. I believe that means Devin White will be your starting linebacker. So I definitely want to see him in there with some of the guys that he's going to be playing with as well. Man, it's going to look fast. It's going to look furious. But just interesting, Dan Campbell talking about not wanting to do the joint practices, and then this week, the guys that are going to play. It's going to be interesting to see what that Commanders game looks like. We've been talking a lot about the offensive line, and you mentioned Juice Scruggs. Juice Scruggs fighting for the backup center role here with McLaughlin, if you will. It's going to be interesting. He made some comments about him, and yesterday we talked about Tate Rowledge taking some reps a couple days ago. Here's both those conversations back to back. This first one, this is about Tate Rowledge taking snaps at center.
Yeah, I think that was just, getting him some reps. I mean, one way or another, he's going to have to be able to help us there if it comes down to that, where he's the guy or he's our next available center at the game if something happens, knock on wood. So I think it was just, that's what some of that was. And, so, I don't know if we'll do that tonight. Probably get Juice. We got Juice capped on reps today, so he won't get all of them. And then we'll probably put Seth back in there and let him go a little bit.
I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this. The reason why I like this conversation is you got a guy that's playing right guard, and at the last half of the year last year, he really began to figure out the right guard position.
Yep.
Talking about Tate Ratledge, he actually finished the season really strong. I did not want to now move him and take him to play center just because this is in his background, just because you talked about it last year and he took some snaps last year. I think you got a right guard that's feeling himself a little bit, and I think he can help out Blake Miller, who is going to be this year's rookie and version of him. I like that a lot. Keep Tate Ratledge at right guard. But to his point, you do want to get him some reps. You do want him to see what it looks like because this is Detroit Lions. You never know what's going to happen with health. So good to get some reps. But I'm glad that they're not looking at him as a true starter or true potential starter at that position.
Yeah, I like that too. That was definitely going to be a worry because he does have the chance to cement himself. A lot of people still believe that he has Pro Bowl upside, at least top 5 guard potential in some regards in terms of Tate Ratledge. So the last thing I want him is screwing up his development because he's getting scattered brain playing the position of center and then having to come back and transition to right guard he's already playing next to a rookie who he's essentially going to have to be the one who is mentoring him out there because there is no one else, especially with Cade Mays out for the first part of the season. He is the most experienced person on the right side of that offensive line. And so when he is going to – and it also helps that him and Miller kind of complement each other. Miller is known as a better pass blocker than a run blocker. Ratledge is known as a better run blocker than a pass blocker. I think that plays as well. Lots of good stuff going on over there. I don't think that breaking them up is the best thing, especially as two young players as first and second year players in the league.
I also like the fact that he played side by side with Penei Sewell all last season. He played side by side in training camp. He played side by side in mini camp, and then he played side by side in the season. Like when you play next to a guy that is that good, when you watch film with a guy that is arguably best at his position, you learn a lot of tricks of the trade. Be glad you learn a lot of ways in which to do things right, or a lot of adjustments if you come up against things. He is going to be very important for Blake Miller this year, but having that's going to be really good, having that knowledge and that experience of having Penei last year.
Yeah, I definitely do like the flexibility and how they're trying to move them around. They're not just trying to set them stone in one position. But the only thing that concerns me about all this movement is the Lions don't know what their offensive line is going to be week one. This is kind of like a tryout on, who's going to be there for the first team reps. A couple years back, we knew what our offensive line was going to look like. We were for certain what we were getting,
lying about that.
And we were super strong at it. And that was the identity of the Detroit Lions. But that's the only thing that I really get concerned about is we don't know who's going to be the starting center, the starting guard, the other starting guard. You know what I'm saying? Like the tackles are secure. We have Penei and Blake. But the middle of the interior of that offensive line, that's the only thing. Moving people around is not necessarily a bad thing. You learn way more skills. You are being able to be trusted at multiple positions in the interior O-line. They even in the draft combine, they don't have guard. It's IOL. You know what I'm saying? Interior O-line. That means you can play all three, essentially. But that's just the thing is we knew what we were getting back in the day, and it was consistent. And the only concern I have is just the inconsistency and new names popping up here and there. People other taking reps. But Tate Ratledge is definitely going to be, in my eyes, looking to take a step forward this year.
You're absolutely right. It just seems like 3-4 years ago, the Lions just kept hitting on linemen, whether it was Jonah Jackson. Jonah became an all-pro, not an all-pro, but he became a Pro Bowler. They went and got Kevin Zeitler. Kevin Zeitler had, it seemed like for us, an all-pro type caliber season. Right. And even Glasgow, before he became the center last year, when they were moving him around in spots, he was very serviceable when the offensive line was that good. You talk about flexibility. You talk about flexibility at the offensive line position is very ironic because Dan Campbell also talked about flexibility as it related to two positions, offensive line being one of them. Here's that conversation.
Sorry. How much fluidity is there in kind of the setup of both your offensive line and starting secondary right now? It still seems like you're doing a lot of mixing and matching while you're missing some of those key pieces in Cade, Kirby, and Brian. Yeah,
well, there is flexibility. I feel like there's more flexibility in the secondary than the O-line right now. Not that it may take a little less time and work Now, that being said, we still got a ways to go, but we're probably a little better equipped over there. O-line, I just kind of mentioned this. It would take time, It would take reps. It would take time. You'd be pushing Tate in, then you got to find your guards, and then they got to work together. So it's a little bit of that, but it doesn't mean that we don't have flexibility in the room. It's going to take a little more time. That's all.
In particular with the nickel situation, Dan, you've been rotating it.
Almost sounds like Dan's been listening to our show as it relates to the offensive line position, talking about the chemistry, talking about getting familiar with the guys that are going to be playing side by side. We'll get into the first half of what he said, talking about the defense, and he feels more confidence in that secondary. But the offensive line, getting the reps, getting the familiarity, that's what he wants for this offensive line. And you cannot have a really good offensive line if they don't know each other and they don't get those reps. That's what you just said.
Absolutely. And when you think about the secondary and why he's talking about the depth, I think that even though you have the notable name on the offensive line with Penei, without Kirby and Branch in your secondary, it's still not enough to make up for the true inexperience and the level of communication it takes to be a successful offensive line. Versus where you have a lot of pieces in the secondary that are all around the same level. So if you have some injuries, unless it's Kirby and Branch again, you're pretty much putting the same player out there regardless of if he's a backup or not.
Yeah, 100%. You got Chuck, you have Izzy. I think they really love Roger McCreary. I think they brought him in for a reason. You have Keith Abney Jr., who's shown himself. And then you have Whiteside, who looked like a player this past weekend. I know it's preseason game 1, but it was the technique that we saw. The technique looked on point, and it looked on par. But getting back to that offensive line conversation and the chemistry, even Dan understands how important it is. And I think that's why you hear him talking about, look, we just wanted to get Tate a couple reps, make sure he's familiar, but I'm not trying to put him in there. He wants to prepare his guys to have the best season. And the best season for them will be if you pick your guys now, lock them and load them, and move forward. And I think at the center position, you might have a guy locked in. You got anything on that? Because we want to take a quick commercial break, and we want to talk about that guy, Sweet Potato.
We do, B. We actually got a couple of super chats to clear up here. Shout out to Retired 92123 with a $5 super chat. Prayers for Anson and family.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you. Looking out, Retired. We really do appreciate that. I know Anson does as well. Got another one in here from Dante151 with a $2 super chat. A relaxed and cheerful Dan Campbell is the best.
Dante's not lying. Dante's not lying. There was no hat, no filling with the hat. There was no lean. There was no double arm leaning on the podium. There was no. He did get a couple arms in there when he's talking about the offensive line. But when he's smiling, when he's laughing, when he's playing with the reporters, Dan feels very confident, and his words are they're echoing truth. 1,000%.
Right. Absolutely, B.
Yeah. So let's take a quick commercial break. Get you a message in from.
That'd be Water Hazard.
I got your super chats on the sheet, by the way. Keep them coming for the Gibbs jersey.
You got it. Let me tell you about Water Hazard. Whether you're on the golf course, chilling at Art and Jake's, or at Belle Isle, Water Hazard, very first canned vodka, brought to you by Founders. At 5% ABV, it is citrusy, refreshing, as well as gluten-free. Best served over ice with a slice of lemon or lime. Get $5 cans at any Art & Jake's location in Michigan on Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Please drink responsibly, y'all.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, Refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. 1's great. 2, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor. Never too much. All day IPA. Hop into easy.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Looking for a career upgrade? Well, check out Mortgage Pros, the #1 mortgage broker to work for in the state of Michigan. We saw their incredible company culture when we were out at their annual block party. Their team truly loves what they do, and it shows. The 4.9-star rating on Google with over 4,000 reviews. Their reputation speaks for itself. So if you're looking for a new job, give Mortgage Pros in Troy a call, 248-416-1361. Mortgage Pros. Let the pros handle it. And then let me tell you about the best thing since sliced bread. Buddies. And that is some sliced buddies. The original Detroit-style pizza. It doesn't get more Detroit than Buddies, baby. Get $10 off your $50 order when you use code WWS26. That's our new promo code. Let me do it for you one more time so I make sure you get these savings, all right? WWS26. That is Buddies, the original Detroit-style pizza, open since 1946, serving it hot with 20 locations across Michigan. There's always a Buddies that you can cash in this offer from, so make sure you check out their nearest location or order online at buddiespizza.com.
And we back. Here's an interesting fact about Buddies. I was looking at the top pizza chains in terms of the longevity of them. Where do you think Buddies ranks in terms of an American pizza chain in terms of the age, if you will? They started in 1946. Like, are they the oldest? Are they in the top 10? What would you think 1946 would rank
in the
Buddies?
country?
In the country.
Second oldest.
You're close.
It's got to be up there in terms of commercial because Michigan owns nearly all commercial pizza.
100%. So you started. You were close.
Wow, look at Cam.
100% third. They're third. They're third oldest. They're 46. Somebody was 45 and somebody was 40. I want to say the state of Michigan, out of 10, how many do you think they had?
7.
6.
Oh, both you guys really close. One of them a little bit closer. It was 6. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 chains.
Boy.
Little Caesars was what? It was Garden City, like 1950. Domino's,
Hungry
like 1960. Hungry Howie's,
Madison
1971. Yeah.
Marco's, I think.
Marco's wasn't on there.
Domino's.
Jets was on there.
Yeah,
Jets was on there. We said Domino's, but yeah, they had.
one more.
Excuse me, they had 5. They had 5 out of the 10. So
okay, yeah.
Shout out
so
to
then that would be 5.
Who says that New York has better pizza? I'm just saying. I'm just
It's the
saying.
guy who played football there.
1,000%.
Shout out to Michael Wary in the
Shout
chat
out.
here. Super chat $5. Chat, please get busy. Smash the like button. Share the link.
Shout out.
Let's make it happen.
Let's
Shout
get a
out to-
like poll in the chat, B-Lad, if you do not mind.
Oh, of course.
Pizza.
Sure, it can be about pizza. Just tell them to smash the like button
Someone's hungry.
somewhere
Smash
in there.
that like button. Also, too, Cam, you're absolutely right about the summer kind of starting to fade, starting to drift. And you know why? Ladies and gentlemen, I went to the gym this morning. I'm back in my routine. I feel good about it, which means I was up this morning bright and early. It was 5:45. 57 degrees this morning.
Yeah, who needs a jacket now?
Fall is around the corner.
For real. It really is.
The only thing good about that means football is around the corner.
I know I'm torn. I'm torn between it, though. It's like, football or...
It's still 82 in the daytime, but that's 57. It was a reminder that fall is around the corner and does bring football. Having a conversation about the Detroit Lions, getting some sound out of camp from Dan Campbell. One of the biggest positions right now of concern, if you will, would be the center position. Last year, the center position wasn't up to par, hence why the Lions went and got K. Mays in the offseason. Well, K. Mays is going to be out for a little while, and now they have the task to replace K. Mays. And right now, it seems like they may have found their guy in Juice Scruggs. Here's Juice Scruggs talking about his potential and his opportunity.
What kind of benchmarks do you want to see yourself hit before the second preseason game?
Just getting better with the rhythm of the offense, being at center now, and just getting the chemistry down with JG and just continuing to get reps. And hopefully we get the chemistry down by the end of the preseason, because I know it takes time. So just getting the reps together with him, and yeah, that's my goal.
That rain, the wet ball, did that play with the snaps at all for you guys today?
A little bit, but that's no excuse. That's good work for us, wet ball, because it's going to happen in the season. So it's always good work. The first wet ball practice is, it's going to be some balls on the ground for sure.
Juice, you played a lot of guard last season, but you've also played some pretty good center in the NFL and in college. Can you explain just maybe your comfort there and how much you're looking forward to maybe getting a chance to play center again?
Yeah, definitely comfortable, for sure. Like you said, played in college, played a little bit in the league. Definitely comfortable. New offense, it's a little different, but getting used to it, just like I said, I need reps, and I'm getting those now, so we'll be ready to go for sure.
What do you think your strength?
I don't know, man, but I liked his energy when he was answering those questions. He talked about reps 3 different times, and he talked about chemistry 3 different times. But you talk about Dan Campbell's confidence. You talk about how light he was when he was answering questions. Juice Scruggs felt the same way when he was answering those questions, B-Lad, and it's because of the last thing he said, which you brought up before we started the show.
Yeah, it's the thing is about that is like the offensive line, they have to work as a unit. They all have to know each other. They have to know exactly what they're going to do every single play. They have to spend time with each other. Obviously, this is Juice Scruggs on a new team, new scheme. Everything is new for him. And so having
Except the position of center.
Oh, well, yes, you're exactly right. The flexibility of everyone moving around, that's another thing as well. It's all a learning process, and the only thing you can do as a player, and I know you understand this, especially when you're being thrown in uncomfortable situations, is to always look for more, always have a positive mindset, that chip on your shoulder, and play with that same chip on your shoulder, that same motor you've been your whole entire life. It's just a new scene. It's all about adapting and getting used to it, and I like how he's really talking about getting his timing down with Jared Goff, and because obviously those two guys are the point guards. That's the whole operation of the offense right there. So, I mean, like I said, I'm glad he has, him and Dan Campbell both had that same demeanor. They held themselves at very high. They were kind of relaxed, but also locked in. You could tell they were locked in at the same time. But like I said, the only thing is like, who really knows what it's going to look like? It's still a big question mark. People are still fighting for their jobs. And that's the one thing that, from the last couple of years, especially from us winning, the Detroit Lions winning was all driven through the O-line, and we all knew what it was going to be.
I like the fact that he talked about it. They tried to throw an excuse out there for the Cincinnati Bengals game, a couple of snaps, if you will, losing the balls. They tried to blame it on the rain. He said, look, that's no excuse. Yeah. And right there, that showed me he was a professional. Right there, that shows me he's not a guy that's trying to lean on things. He's trying to get better and better each day. Justin, it's kind of funny. Last year we had a guard playing center that wanted to play guard. Now we have a guard playing center that actually wants to play center in Juice Scruggs. That was no shot at Graham Glasgow, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny how that happens. Hopefully bringing in a guy who actually has experience playing the position. He talked about it. He's played center in the league before. That obviously is important to this Detroit Lions team when they're looking to replace Cade Mays, because they do not want to put a guy like Graham Glasgow in that position where he is overwhelmed, and the offensive line in terms of the interior is never up to par to allow this offense to hit its full potential. So I think that I liked his answer. I think that he is, if he's going to stay healthy, proving to be that stopgap that we need for Cade Mays. It's just going to be a matter of, will it actually hold up for the time being.
We keep talking about this, this roller coaster of who's going to play which position here for the Detroit Lions on the offensive line, with the exception of 2 spaces. Do you have a 5? Do you have a 5? Like, have you seen enough out of preseason, enough training camp, enough of conversations, enough of coach speak at the podium? Do you have 5 guys that you think they should lock and load in and move forward?
No, I want to see Juice Scruggs in a preseason game before I make any. Because I know what we got with Seth McLaughlin. Obviously, Juice is coming off an injury, which sucks. But you want to see how he looks at the center position. But if he has the football IQ to be able to sit there and help out these young guards next to him, and not necessarily tape, but more mahogany, because he's going to need it.
Yeah, 1,000%. What about you? What say you, B-Lab? Because you've been the one, and I agree with you a lot as it relates to the offensive line and this piece and that piece and not feeling confident. Do you got 5 guys that you think this is what it is and moving forward, or is it still it's up in the air?
It's up in the air for me, no doubt about it. I'm on the firm train of thinking that our starting guard is in the free agency market right now or on a different team. I don't think they're going to roll with anyone we have right now. We're too shallow at that position anyway. The fact that they're moving everybody around like this so fast, so early, leads me to believe like they don't like what they see. And because usually, we've had it consistent here. And whether that's a Zeitler or whoever is out there, like I would not mind bringing Zeitler back. I don't mind the age. He was good. He was serviceable for his age.
Damn good.
And he was even good in Tennessee. So that's the thing. And I wouldn't be surprised. Don't put it past yourself if we go out there and try and go grab him or a guard of some kind.
Yeah, I think if you're talking about bringing out a 14 or 15-year left tackle or a 14, 15-year right tackle, I'm like, But when you're talking about right guard is a different type of position. I think there is a space where he could perform. So, but we'll keep that down the line in terms of what the Lions are potentially doing.
It's still very early.
Yeah, it is very early, but it's not very early for a
But time's moving fast.
It is. Yeah. It is moving fast, and it's also moving faster when you have a pass rusher like number 97 for the Detroit Lions, who last year we expected him to have a monster year coming off that injury. But I think Dan Campbell provided us some sound that maybe gave way to what this year could be versus what last year was. Here's Dan Campbell talking about maybe his favorite Lion in Aiden Hutchinson.
Somebody we were all watching very closely last season, for obvious reasons coming off the injury. But now, this year, it seems like day in, day out, he's just kind of wrecking things a little bit for the offense there. Just how has he come back to camp now, a full year removed from the injury?
Yeah, he looks great. He's like I would say when you are coming off that injury, your ability to train now, being healthy, basically, right? So now you're kind of out of that rehab mode, and now you're into truly strength conditioning, training, power, explosion, all of it. So he's just continued that route, and every year he becomes smarter, more crafty. He learns the game. He's elevating his FBI and just his skill set. I mean, he's the guy works his skill set every day, man. And every year he comes up with a little something new. He knows how to play the chess game, really in the run game, but the pass game, you see it. Like he'll set something up for a while, and then he'll counter you at some point. He's a headsy player, man. He knows what he's doing. So, and then he's got a motor. I mean, my gosh, when you have all those, and then you got the motor he does, he's a massive problem for an offense.
Stay with him for a sec. I asked this, say this half jokingly, but how do you decide, because he's so disruptive, how do you decide when to blow the whistle when he's in the backfield and plays some of these times? You know what I mean?
I mean, sometimes it's most of them. What I do is if I don't blow them, it's obvious, and I'll just tell him, hey, that's a good job, or that's a sack, or. But sometimes I don't, just for the sake of the drill. You kind of have to do that a little bit. Otherwise, you won't get a lot done. So, but yeah, he's a pain, man. He's definitely a pain, but I'm glad he's our pain.
Oh, Dan Campbell was gushing a little bit, man, up there talking about his second son. I guess Panay would be his first, considering he was his first number 1 draft pick. But you know what? Dan's actually right.
Podium's rising.
At one.
What?
Yo, shout out to Lumen Amnesia, my guy. But Dan's right. Like, that was a funny joke, by the way.
That was great.
Dan's absolutely correct, and I think we don't necessarily talk about it from that perspective, and shame on me from being in that position. Let me explain. I tore my ACL my rookie year, end of 2005. Came back, played all of all of 06. Damn, 20 years ago. Played all of 06. And to his point, you spend that whole offseason rehabbing. Everything is rehabbing, trying to get your body back to a sense of normal. And by the time you get that body back to a sense of being able to compete, and being able to be almost there, almost normal, now the season starts. And now you're trying to compete with people that have been healthy all season. They have been healthy all off season and working hard and doing the drills and doing the skills and becoming a better player, a better talent, moving more into their prime. Whereas you're just trying to get back to what was normal for you. And that's what Aiden Hutchinson had to go through last year. Last year was figuring it out. Last year was taking that step. Now He's had an off season where he's been healthy. Now he's taking that next step athletically. He's taking that next step to get in his prime. He's now able to add more moves to his bag before the season starts. Yesterday we talked about it, and I believe Dan Campbell's echoing that sentiment. This could be a monster year for that monster 97.
Absolutely. And I think that when you're looking at Aiden Hutchinson and his career trajectory, I mean, very linear and continues to get better.
Yeah.
And however, the injuries have caused him to only flash and not truly take that jump that we've all expected when, like, he's number 2 in DPOY odds this year. He was number 1 last year. Like, there is legitimate hype about him taking another step. And what you need to do that is have everything that Aiden Hutchinson has. What Dan Campbell just said. He continues to grow his bag. He plays the chess game. Makes it very difficult for offensive tackles to be able to counter what he's trying to do, because once he has you one way, he'll counter you the other and make a nice move. And what I liked hearing as well is something that me and you have talked about is, we want to see Aiden get a little more active in the run game and take a little more pressure off of the edges, or off the other edge, and the tackles.
Yep.
That is something that we just heard Dan Campbell gush about. So that's another great thing that we've been looking for, and something that is key in a 4-2-5, something else that we've been harping on and that we saw in the first preseason game that they're going to be installing. And him in the run game is so much more important than if it is a 4-3 and you're running more linebackers. So I am so excited for this season for Aiden Hutchinson. I truly think that this is the ascension year where he is fully healthy. He feels the faith and trust that he needs to have in his body to get the bend, to get because people forget how these edges are able to contort their
body works.
and bend. Like, that takes so much pressure on your knees, and especially on the side that Aiden most of the time comes off of, because it was his right leg, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He's a backside edge who likes to come off the backside of the quarterback. So that is the hardest plant that he can possibly make, is coming around the right edge. And now this year we're going to see a fully healthy knee that we're going to be able to see him explode out of, and I think that we're going to see 14 and a half plus easy sacks, and hopefully more into the 17 and 18 range.
Listen to Justin providing that sports science angle, if you will. Getting back to it, coming off that knee injury for me, I had 860 yards and 6 touchdowns. Couldn't really get into my bag, really couldn't get into my field. But vice versa, after that next year, now I had a full year to rehab, 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns, 80 catches is different. Aiden last year, 14 and a half sacks. He had 3 pass deflections. He had 4 forced fumbles. He had 1 fumble recovery. He had an interception. He still filled that stat sheet up. But B-Lab, what do you expect now that he's had a full, healthy offseason to recover and get in his bag?
Yeah, the one thing about that too, it's the mental aspect. A lot of people don't really understand how that
talk
is.
About
speed of the game, mental repetition, and knowing in the back of your mind that this is the exact same play that I could have gotten injured on, especially like I did the last time. Now, last season, coming based off of what he went through, and I know his injury was very, very catastrophic. I had, expectations were high, but I think he fulfilled them. Now the bar is set up high. Now you got to be in that top 5 range. You got to be up with the dogs like Parsons. You got to be up with the dogs like, Crosby and people like that. You got to make a legitimate impact, and you got to show him who Aiden Hutchinson is, because before he got injured, he was on that trajectory where it's like, all right, this guy's all pro defensive selection, like right away. So, as far as numbers go, just give me more than what you gave me last year, but make an impact like those guys that you see in that same tax bracket of yours.
Sweet Potato Cam, I think that's what it is. I think it's not necessarily about the numbers, although you know me, I want to see some numbers. Yeah, you throwing out Defensive Player of the Year, you throwing out all these things, like those numbers got to match. And Defensive Player of the Years, they're typically averaging around 17 and a half sacks. But with that being said, what is the impact do you believe is going to be Aiden Hutchinson this year? Because this is going to be a big year for him.
I feel like he's going to be all the way back here, as y'all had mentioned. He gets like more than a half season of full league reps in, and I believe he's going to be that disruptor we once knew before that leg.
Because he was on
a tear.
Yes, he was shredding up the league.
Yeah, he was definitely on a tear. Before we go to quick commercial break, or before we because I want to switch. I want to shift. I want one last player I want to talk about, and then we got some other stuff. We got some fun stuff for you. B-Lad has quick slants. I got a Dan Campbell conversation that we will be doing as well. But before we get there, anything else that you want to clean up? Sweet Potato or Justin?
We have any super chats there, SPC?
No super chats. We got a lot of pizza talk still going on here.
Talk about what they got in that
Pizza
chat.
Populous. There was another shout out to Dearborn Bakery there.
Okay.
Pizza Populous is trash.
You said that before, I believe you.
Buddy's shits on Pizza Populous, all right?
In what regard?
Every regard.
Yeah, because Pizza Populous, you're only going for the deep dish seafood pizza. And if you're not a deep dish seafood pizza lover.
What?
I said Pizza Populous.
Right.
Deep dish.
I'm about to check that out, though. That sounds good.
What are you talking? Deep dish seafood, 100%. The shrimp and crab meat. Like, this is the deep dish seafood. Like, other than that, I'm not going to Pizza Populous for pizza. Like, realistically, I'm going to Buddy's. Like, the only reason I ever went to Pizza Populous was for their deep dish, and I put seafood on it.
I'm as big of a seafood guy as any, but I'm sorry. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to pizza, and a great pizza only needs cheese, sauce, crust, and I stand by that. And if you want to throw pepperoni on it, you do your thing. But pizza belongs plain.
Purist.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily have to make sense. Like, because realistically, like, do you eat burgers plain? Like, could you say, like, a burger only deserves to have cheese, the bun, and the fucking and the meat?
Need some variation every once in a while.
Yeah, you need some variation. But I'm just saying, the best pizza and honestly the best burgers.
But I never said that it was the best. I never said that it was the best. I said it was my favorite deep dish, and that's the only reason why I went there. You shit it all on the deep dish pizza.
I'm shitting on Pizza Populous, and I shit on pineapple on pizza, so I feel like it's my duty to shit on seafood on pizza too. I feel like it's my.
Oh, you're a pizza purist.
Yep.
Yep, he is. And shout out to Dante151 with a $2 super chat here. Screw it. 20+ sacks for Hutch.
I'm with it.
That's what I'm saying. Get up there.
And I feel it. It's not and the reason why I love that it's not a screw it. It's you told me he was this.
Yeah.
You tell me he's that. Like, odds on favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year 2 years in a row. What does that mean? What did the Defensive Player of the Year last year have? 23. I'll help you out. What do you have the year before that? 22.5. What do you have the year before that? 19.5. Like, that's what comes with Defensive Player
Let's
of
get
the
down to
year.
business.
So 100%, that's what we want to necessarily.
Shout out Dante taking the lead in the super chat.
Get it going.
In terms of the Gibbs jersey, got the most tallies here, so that means he has the most prize wheel entries.
Locked and loaded.
He's locked and loaded. So
he wants that jersey, and that jersey is fire in all ways.
You guys got to make up some slots here. You're running behind.
Here, let me ask you this.
You're like the Red Wings in the Eastern Conference. You're just sputtering back and back and back. Whoa,
they're a disaster.
There's some Red Wings conversation that I know you'll probably have at some point because
after the show, Woodward Wings 4:15.
Tune in. I won't ruin it then.
I would like your. I mean, I'd like your thoughts on it. I just won't say anything.
Say less. Would you wear this or would you frame this?
Oh,
that's a poll question.
Frame.
Would you wear it or frame?
I'd frame it.
Framed it. It's already signed.
I'd frame it.
Put it in the chat and see.
I'd had the rock it one time.
You had the rock it one time?
Yeah.
All right.
Special occasion.
Yeah, that's a good chat question. All right, look, I'll give you a message in from Icon Auto, and we'll get back with more conversation. That is the Detroit Lions, and also, too, we talked about Isaac Tesla. Isaac Tesla actually had some conversation. I think one of the things he said is very, very interesting. We're excited to welcome Icon Auto Repair and Collision. You know that, but if you have been in an accident or your vehicle needs repairs, make sure you trust them at Icon Auto Repair and Collision. They have 3 sites: Madison Heights, Shelby Township, and Pontiac. The best thing about it, though, is they have like a one-stop shop. You come in there, they offer free car loans, also offer to pay your deductible. Like, this is where you want to do business. They care about their clientele. Frankly put, they care about you. Go somewhere where the Icon cares about you, and that is Icon Auto Repair and Collision.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
You're building a whole combat sports enterprise in the heart of it in Detroit, and that's what I think is the coolest.
I think with opportunity, right? Like you said, maybe you like to punch people in the face for real, and you know, you want to be a boxer, and you have an option there. Maybe you don't like getting punched in the face, and you want to make, you know, you like the theatricals and the storylines, and so you have an avenue here. Maybe you start at one and then want to change to the other. I don't care. I just want you in the building and know that you have some place to go to explore that. Just having the ability to, what do you want to do and how do you want to do it to the best of your ability? And, you know, it all starts with the kids.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith. New focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in? Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Let me tell you about Supreme Lending. There's no one better to call than Chad and Chris. Buying a home or refinancing is a big decision, so make sure you get the right team behind you. And we're proud to have Supreme Lending in the Woodward Sports family. As a full-service lender, they boost a 99% close-on-time rate and a 97% customer satisfaction score. So make sure you mention Woodward Sports, and you will receive up to $500 off your appraisal. To score a deal, call the numbers on your screen and talk to Chad and Chris of Supreme Lending today.
Boom. And we are back. How you guys feeling out there in the chat? You guys excited? You feeling good? Season's right around the corner. College football season is even closer, if you will.
Yeah, baby.
I know somebody.
Michigan national champions.
All right, see,
go blue.
Yeah, that's what Ryan used to say, sitting up there saying that nonsense.
We got some excitement in the chat, though.
Until it was true. What's exciting in the chat?
We
Talk
got
to
some
me.
excitement. Shout out to Rando Smalls,
Rando.
$5 super chat here. I will go top 5 offense and defense.
Ooh.
Let's get it.
Top 5 offense and defense?
For the Lions, yes, sir.
Ooh, okay. Top
Slightly
5
aggressive, slightly, but it's okay.
But you know what happens with that, though, to Randall's point? I know what he's looking at. He's looking at in 2023 and 2024 when the offense was cooking and breaking records, if you will. Because that offense was so good, it put the defenses they were playing in a lot of bad spots. They were having to play from behind. They're having to pass all game, and now you let your defensive ends pin their ears back, go at the quarterback, and you don't allow them a chance to take their time, slow the game down. So that can make sense. If this offense is as good as we think it could be, that makes sense, but what about the offensive line? That will be my pushback. But Randall, always appreciating those comments. What jersey you rocking today, Randall? Is it a Red Wings? Is it the Tigers? Because the Tigers won last night. Yeah, Tigers trying to make this season a lot of fun.
One more super chat here.
Give it
Be
to
from
me.
Michael Wary, $2.
Like police?
Hutch has help now. Look out.
That's facts, and that help stems from one, they switched to the 4-2-5, and also it's that defensive line. Aleem McNeil, he's under the same thing. If we're gonna have that conversation about Hutch, if we're gonna say that, well, this season, this off season, he was able to prepare at a healthy rate, he was able to get better being healthy. The same could be said one for Aleem McNeil, who basically did the same thing last year, and his was a ligament coming off an ACL. So I buy that 1,000%. I definitely buy that. Somebody that we want to be better this year, who showed flashes last year but wasn't given too many opportunities. More opportunities will be given to him as the number 3 wide receiver this year, and I'm excited to see what that could look like. Here's Isaac Tesla talking to the media, having some conversation.
Us as a core?
Yeah.
I think we're the best in the league. I mean, obviously J-Mo and Saint are the proven veteran guys who have gone out there every single Sunday and made plays, and, you know, I've been trying to make my name, and I think the 3 of us together, you know, it's going to be hard to stop all of us.
How is your role going to kind of differ in terms of where you're going to be positioned at?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just depends on scheme, game plan. Obviously, you know, in the base stuff out here for training camp, you know, we're trying to spread the ball around a little bit. You know, in 11 personnel, 13, you know, just trying to spread the ball around, get the ball in guys' hands.
You made a catch in double coverage and that old spike there. Was that all like we're looking for a play like that all preseason, or what?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely been opportunities for me to make plays like that. So the fact that JG put the trust in me on fourth down like that, put the ball up in the air, he's been waiting for me to win on the release like that. So just the fact that I was able to do that, stack the guy, and he threw a perfect ball where I can go up and get it. So things just shook out greatly, and it was nice to score on fourth down like that.
3 things about that. Thing one, I'm glad. Oh, I knew he was going to get excited. I knew he was going to be hyped. We're going to come to you in a second, B-Lab. Speaking of the podium moving a little bit, 3 things about this. Thing one is Luke Altmaier will not be his quarterback on game day. So he won't be throwing those juice balls, if you will. There'll be a little bit lighter touch to it, so we don't have a problem out of Isaac Tesla. Also, too, that question about who's the best wide receiver trio in the league, I think we should make that a whole segment tomorrow because I want to dive into that. Because are they even the best wide receiver trio in this division? Don't answer yet. That's a fun conversation.
That's a good question.
That's a fun conversation for tomorrow because realistically, Minnesota, you look at them, Juwan Jennings is now a Viking. A lot of people tend to forget that, along with Jordan Addison and Jay Jetta. So let's save that conversation for tomorrow. The last thing, and this is where I come to you, B-Lad. He talked about making a play in practice. Talked about Jared Goff having that trust in him. Talking about catching that pass, and the reporter asked him, he said, you spiking that? Is that you wanting? Is that you waiting for a play, finally making a play? How much of that is the game that happened last week, the preseason game, had 2 drops, if you will, him making a big play with Jared Goff coming out of that? How much is that?
Yeah, I know at the same time, it is a mental thing as well.
Hell yeah.
Think about that. I know I mentioned it on the, about Hutchinson, but this is too. You have those 2 drops in the preseason game. Yeah, so it's, as a receiver, it's like one of those things where you just take it on the chin, move on, worry about the next play. But plays like that, especially when your QB1, your veteran QB, has enough trust in you to go out there on fourth down and make that, make that throw and get the ball in your hands, like that's a huge confidence booster. And he knows that he can put himself, obviously we've seen it. He's put himself in positions to make contested catches all year last year. And the one thing that I really do like about, or what I liked about that and why I got so hyped is he seems different.
Yeah.
Like he
poked his chest out.
He has a little bit more an edge to him now. And that's one thing that, that's a whole mental thing as you develop into a player. Obviously he can't. We all know his background. Came from Division II in the GMAC at Hillsdale, and then transferred to Arkansas for his senior year, and then got to play with the Detroit Lions. Obviously, he was a fan of the team his whole life. Like you could tell that he's getting, like, I wouldn't say comfortable, but he's gaining confidence as his his tenure is going on here right now, which I like.
Yeah, Justin will say one thing, he does look more confident, and that makes sense when you got a guy like Jared Goff who has trust in him. Jared don't throw the ball to everybody. I remember when Jameson Williams was trying to figure it out. I remember Jameson Williams being open, Jared Goff not throwing him the ball. I remember Tim Patrick and how long it took him to trust him on third downs and in the red zone. And you can say the same for not Kenny Galladay, but Clark, whatever his name was. It takes time for Jared Goff to build trust. It seems like he may have found that in Isaac Tesla.
DJ Chark.
DJ, there you go. You got it. Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes. And I agree.
Shout out DJ
I think
Chark,
that I feel like everyone's expectations for Tesla are just still too high, and I don't want to be that guy. I'm not shitting on him. I'm not shitting on him. All right, let's get that out of the way. And I think that he's going to be a very nice player. However, there still is only so much of the rock that can go around, and I think that the stats are going to be very similar to last year. I think he's going to be a bigger threat in the red zone because I think the trust is there with Goff more. I think they have built that. And I think that when you see these clips in practice versus when he had Altmaier on the field, I think there's a level of confidence in himself that he has in Jared Goff versus Luke Altmaier, because I'm assuming that difference is huge. And so when you think about it like that and you see the practice clips of him making all these big plays, they are from Goff. Like, they are throws that Goff is making to put him in position to make plays, and I think that chemistry is only going to grow, and I think that you're going to be looking at a very nice specialist weapon that he's going to be deployed in situational football by Petzing that's going to be very dynamic and in a very explosive way, similar to last year. Just, I don't think he's going to have this stat explosion that other people believe.
Chad, what say you? Do you need to temper your expectations on Isaac Tesla based on what Justin said? I think there is a level of truth to that. One thing you said that I really like, though, is it's the confidence in the different quarterbacks. Like, I remember being in situations where
I was just about to ask.
Yeah, he's right. Like, you get in there with certain people. I'll give you an example. So Mark Sanchez, his whole time with the Jets, look, I love Sanchez. He's my guy. You guys know that. But Mark Sanchez, he struggled when I was in New York. He struggled with the plays. He struggled with the protections. So every time you got in and with them, it was a different feel, if you will. He's had some really great moments, and he's had some not so good moments, if you will. But it felt different every time you were in the huddle. I was in the huddle with Mark Brunell twice. Mark Brunell was 40 years old, the current quarterback coach for the Detroit Lions. Last touchdown pass I caught for the Jets was Mark Brunell. I was in the huddle with him the last game of the year. We're playing against Buffalo, playing against the Bills, and we're just, this is like first half, offensive starters played. They benched everybody in the second half. We were already in the playoffs. I get in the huddle, and Mark Brunell, like, it was a different feeling. It was a different level of understanding. It was a different confidence, like someone that had been there, someone that had done it at the highest level, someone that was very confident in their ability, your ability, the team's ability, and what the play call was. He called a play, and it wasn't even a go route. He called a play, he said, hey, number 17, look, just run a fade route. I got you. Just go down the sideline.
Number 17.
Like, didn't even say my name. He was like, look, 17, go down the sideline. We got this. But to your point, I was like, okay, cool. No problem. Went out there, left side. It's double coverage in terms of cover two-man high. Man, got in, got outside, weaved it back around. The ball was coming. I'm like, oh, shoot, he threw it for real. Jump up, jump over the safety, and end up being a touchdown. But the confidence in the last touchdown as a Jet, the confidence from start to finish was different. So there is a level that, and I'm glad you said that. When you're in the huddle with an Altmaier, is the pass going to come to me? Is he going to get it there? Is he going to put it where it's supposed to be? There's a lot of intangibles and a lot of nuance. But when you're in the huddle with Jared Goff, you know what it's going to be. You know the protection is going to be there. You know Jared Goff's going to put the ball right where it's supposed to be, B-Laz. So great comment out of you, Jay. Great comment.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, you could definitely tell, and that's why I wanted to ask you if there was like a specific moment in time that you felt or you've wanted and different kind of performances based off the quarterback. Because I know for me specifically, like once you take reps with a specific quarterback for so long, you get used to their tendencies, their timing, and once you hop in with another quarterback, whether that's the backup or the starter, it's all an adjustment. And if you have a quarterback and if you're there past time and on your own, you're running routes with them, you start to learn timing and you start to learn their tendencies as well, the way the ball releases off their out of their release. If it has a tail to it, because I have played with a lefty quarterback and they have a tail to their throws, like especially their deep balls, like they do tail off in a different way and the ball spins differently. So it's all just a work in progress, but you could definitely tell, the confidence level was there, and that's one thing. I know things like that in camp and situational moments that they practice all the time, like that builds confidence up in that aspect.
I feel like training camp is a day by day in terms of where the level of excitement is, or where the level of confidence is, where the level of outrage, or like, oh my God, I don't know, I don't trust it.
You know what?
Every day we come in here is different.
One thing I love about training camp is the duality of the Woodward Sports Chat, and I got two back-to-back chats.
Let's get it going.
We got Oproko, Davenport about to kill it. The next two chats,
oh, Lord.
Kevin Bell, Davenport sucks. Jesse Woodward, Davenport will be hurt in 3 weeks.
I was listening to a podcast. What was this, like yesterday? They were doing the over or under on how many games Davenport would play. Oh. I was like, that's a bit much, but I understand.
No, we did it last year.
That's why I said I understand.
Over under Davenport games this year.
I knew it was coming. That's kind of why I lobbed it out there, if you will. I go, you know what? I'm going to go 7.5.
I'm going.
He's getting a half season in this year.
I'm going 7.5, because there has to be something to Davenport where people continuously bring him around no matter what the past has been. Like every single year he's been boarding, he's gotten hurt. But however, now he's in camp.
Well, Keenan Allen just signed with the Colts.
What about that?
He just signed there the other day.
What does that mean?
I'm saying like there's other players out there that potentially have stuff left in the tank that people didn't think they had stuff left in the tank. Like, he didn't play all that much last year.
If that's the over/under, I'll take the under every day of the week.
I would too. Probably.
That is utterly disrespectful to the people in Vegas. You would be a terrible odds maker. You'd have Vegas looking like, you know.
No, I'm just giving. I'm giving the young man a shot. I think he's not young, but I'm giving the guy a shot. 6.5. Ben Johnson.
He could make it. Yeah, he could do it.
Maybe
I'd say a fair line is 3.5.
As long as he doesn't play a Ford Field, I think he's got a shot.
That.
As long as he doesn't play a Ford Field,
well, it's a good thing he's got to play there.
This is true. But what game is that?
That's Thanksgiving. That's the first game they play.
See, that's after 6.5, so we'll be good.
Yeah, you saying he's tapped
after
out?
6.5.
He's tapped out before Thanksgiving.
That's like.
Didn't you say the Bears have a bad field though?
Well,
it's grass though.
Oh,
They have thick grass. It's slow. Thick grass is just slow.
Well, that plays for him.
Shout out grass.
100%. See, maybe that's why Ben Johnson knew something. Get you on. Maybe he just sits out all AstroTurf games, or excuse me, all field turf games.
Don't let him go to MetLife.
Oh my God, I played there. I survived it, but I did see a lot of injuries there.
Yeah, did you really?
Yeah, I did. And it was new.
That's a shame.
They opened in 2010, which is my second year as a Jet. They opened up, man. You saw. Shoot, what was his name? His son played at Michigan. Defensive tackle. He would have been. Oh my God. Chris Canty.
Yes.
Canty.
Wait. Yeah. I don't remember, but that kind of rings a bell.
That does feel.
Is it Canty or is it Jenkins?
Wasn't Canty he was a lineman in the NFL.
Yeah, he was defensive lineman.
So you're talking about
D lineman. Him and his brother both played at Belleville, and then his son was on the national championship team. Is it Jenkins?
Yeah, Jenkins.
There you go. Chris Jenkins. I played with Chris Jenkins. I'm sorry. I played with him for a year, so forgive me. He got hurt, legitimately coming off ACL injury in 2009. First game we played at MetLife Stadium, first play. It was very significant of Aaron Rodgers. It was the very first play.
Oh, wow.
It was terrible. All right, look, let's take a quick commercial break because when we get back, somebody's excited. They got the quick slant segment, and you won't be disappointed. Take you around the NFL a little bit.
But still related to the Lions.
It is. We are going to keep all things related to the Detroit Lions. Sweet Potato Cam, tell me about Thrive.
You betcha, B. Get rid of those gut-rotting neon-colored energy drinks and check out Thrive Energy Pouches. They ain't your daddy's dip, though. They are tobacco-free, nicotine-free, mental powerhouse of smart caffeine. No jitters, no sugar crash. Thrive can be found online at dipstop.com. Remember to use that promo code WSN for 15% off your entire order. Found exclusively at all Market Fresh and Market Square locations. Thrive Clean Energy. They flip and work, y'all.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Our regular sports bars, and then there is Art and Jake's, where nobody even comes close. Over ADTV's wall to wall, the action is immense. It is intense. And you know football season is right around the corner. 22 beers on tap and a menu packed with fan favorites. They've got exactly what you are looking for. Make sure you scan that QR code right over there. And then after, if you don't want to do that, download the mobile app. Download A&J mobile app today and join AJ's fan club. A lot of prizes, a lot of gifts, and a lot of discounts on what they are offering. This is the place to pull up. You know we're always in the building. You know we enjoy ourselves there. You should too. Make sure you actually follow them at Art and Jake's on social and find the location nearest you today. As it relates to buying or refinancing a home, look no further than the state's title agency, the B-Side and his team. They do it well. Over 20 years of experience in the game, they know exactly what you need. They like to keep the process simple. They like to keep the process convenient, and they're here for you. That's why they do late night closings. That's why they do weekend closings by appointment only. For all your title needs, call
Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds. You heard, Jay. Yeah,
and we back.
We are back. I apologize. Like, something in the studio has got my allergies acted up. Cam, you talked about it. Fall is coming back. And my allergies are about to pay the price.
Right.
Jeez Louise.
I know.
You see me, I'm fidgeting with my nose.
I got a little bit of news for you.
Okay, you got news, and we also have super chats. Tell me what
your
you got.
very own Michigan Wolverine. But first,
go blue.
Hey, I appreciate all the love on my hat in the chat. You can get it at the store at the Tigers game.
That's fine.
These hats are awesome. They're
good golf hat too.
Yeah, they're like that golf material instead of the baseball hat material. Really nice on hot days in the summer.
I've been eyeing it.
I recommend it.
I have been eyeing it.
But Lions rookie linebacker Jimmy Rolder says he could be back at practice in a week or so.
Ooh, Jimmy Rolder will be back. Too bad his spot is gone. Devin White. Too bad. No, that's gonna be good. Want to get him back. Want to see what that looks like. Want to get him to be able to learn under Devin White. Like it is one of those things we talk about a lot. When you bring in certain veterans, when you bring in certain leaders that have done it at a high level, it's key for your young guys to see that. It's key for your young guys to be and operate behind that. So excited to see what he can learn from Devin White. Excited that he's coming back too. Cam, you got some super chats you want to clean up?
Sure do. The super chats are piling in.
They want that jersey.
Everyone wants that Honolulu Blue signed Agent Zero. First one by Detroit. Dabber 313, $2 super chat. Considered me entered. Hashtag pause.
Appreciate that. Press play. I'm telling you.
Next one, we got Dante151 with a $2 super
Dante.
chat. I can't wait for high school football.
Shout out to high school football. I want to say
out.
Next Thursday. Is it next Thursday night? Is the first week?
Really?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's next Thursday night.
Damn.
Yeah, school starts for some next week.
Yeah, next
Grade
Thursday night
school.
is going to be
What the flip?
I forget they also do NIL now in high school.
Oh, yeah.
they do. NIL. So I want to see what that looks like. Now that individuals are getting paid, some of those schools that have already been good, I can only imagine what they look like this year.
Detroit Catholic Central.
You already knew I was thinking
Yeah.
of. Yeah, Detroit Catholic Central, Orchard Lake, West Bloomfield. There's a couple where you know.
Clarkston.
Clarkston's going to be good. They got
a couple dogs over there.
I think I actually have an event where I'm actually speaking to a high school before their first game.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, that's cool. I'm going out to Fenton.
Oh, really? Is it Fenton High School? Like the actual Fenton High School?
Fenton High School.
Yeah, I played them. They were always our out-of-conference game in high school.
Got some friends, so, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing a favor for a friend, but, you know, when you talk high school football, like, it just brings back memories. Friday Night Lights is a real freaking deal. So
it carries the first semester.
Excited to talk to him, man, and bring some energy into that locker room. Just like I'm excited to hear what B-Lad has in his quick slant segment. B-Lad, you're up.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Football, we're one more day closer to some real football, like I said yesterday. And I wanted to start off a little off topic, but Braylon, you had mentioned this before the show. Jackson Dart had some interesting comments after getting absolutely obliterated in his first preseason game back after his rookie season. And I'm going to play this audio for you real quick here.
As far as the blue tent, like I really respect the rules and the thought behind, you know,
here comes some BS. You just know
keeping players healthy and reviewing things, but at the same time, I'm still puzzled by it just feeling like every time that I get hit, you know, I find my way in there, which at times I still try to wrap my head around, but that's all that I'm going to say about that situation.
The hit that Jackson took, what were your feelings at that moment?
My feelings in that moment was we need to block better.
So I'm not laughing at Jackson Dart, although
That's
you could
crazy.
laugh at that. Let's start backwards and go forward. John Harbaugh making that comment, like, that is a Harbaugh family trait.
That's funny.
He looks like John, he looks like Jim, and he looks like Jack. They don't play no games. They get exactly to what the problem was. You ask him one thing, he's going to tell you what the hell he wants to talk about. And that is true. That's the reason why they went out and picked up Najee Harris. That you told 100% Najee Harris is now a New York Giant per Justin Satawa. The first part, though, look, I get it.
I didn't break it. I stole it.
True, but I'm just saying, you told me earlier today.
I know.
This is where I got my inside from.
I
got it from you. But when you talk about Jackson Dart, the quarterback scheme, like last year, he plays with reckless abandonment. Like for someone that is not 6'5", 245 like Cam Newton, he acts like it. He runs. He's not running on the sideline. He's trying to run guys over. He's doing all the reckless abandonment things, and that's why last year he was in that blue tent a lot.
Yeah.
Hence why this year, when you get whacked, when there is no pickup of the blitz, when Tracy leaves you out to dry, gets you smacked, it looked like you may have hit your head on the canvas or on the floor. Like, we just want to make sure you're good. You're a 5th overall pick, or I think he's top 5.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, you're top 5 pick overall. You're the future of the New York Giants, who've had that word for a very long time. They want to make sure that investment pays off, and they want to protect you, even if they have to protect you from yourself. So don't be mad at the rules. Don't be mad at the regulations. If anybody, be mad at yourself from time to time when you're doing that crazy stuff on the sideline, and then say, hey, you know what? This is how I play. This is who I am. You better ask some of those quarterbacks that had that same gift that you have, which is the ability to get out of the pocket and be mobile, that took a lot of those shots and got them back in the pocket. Just ask. So
no doubt about it.
Slides a good thing. Add to the repertoire, especially the way that you get protected in the NFL by sliding.
My second year in the league, my second year with the Jets, Rex Ryan bought out Joe Girardi after they had won, because they won in 2009. So they had him come to camp to teach Mark Sanchez how to slide, because Mark Sanchez refused to slide.
That's crazy.
And he's not even mobile like that.
No.
So it's okay to be mobile. It's okay to get out of the pocket. You will help your team a lot. But just add some smarts with it. One of the best mobile quarterbacks of all time was Russell Wilson. Not because he ran a 4-1, because Russell knew how to get out of bounds and slide. He was very protective of his body, and it still failed him his ankle. But anyway.
No doubt about that. So, hey, Sweet Potato Cam, we do have a couple super chats rolling in here real quick. If you want to get these in here, they are football related.
They really are. Everyone wants that jersey, y'all.
Okay.
But, let's clear these out real quick.
Yeah,
we got a blank one from Detroit Dabber 313, $1. Good looking out. Thank you, brother. Another one from Jaco Craig, $2.
Hey.
Hello from a non-work account. LOL.
Shout out Jaco.
We appreciate that.
Yes, here we go. The
Appreciate
next one
that.
we've got.
People try to get in for the jersey.
Oh, yeah. Dante151 with a $5 super chat. Bray, Davenport is going to play one snap and get hurt on sacking the quarterback and then spend the rest of the season on the Bears IR.
I will tell you this.
It will be a repeat.
But it's a sack. But it's a sack. It's like, what movie is that? Any Given Sunday, where Lawrence Taylor gets the sack at the end and carries him off the field, and he had to beg them to play. He said, I got my $1 million, though. Shout out to Davenport. So we're giving Davenport a sack. That's more than he had here.
Hey, there we go.
It is.
That's more than he had here.
Facts.
Another one from Michael Weary. Thank you. $5 super chat. Since the starters are playing, what are you looking for, Bray?
I'm looking for the same thing as I was last week. Now, with more starters playing, you'll get a better situation. You'll get more of a feel. They'll be flying around, if you will. But I just want to control the controllables. Like, what does it look when they're in the huddle, out of the huddle? What does it look like when the defense is communicating? What does it look like? How does the technique look? Technique is something that I'm looking for. Are they getting progressively better with their techniques? Are they bringing the energy? What's the enthusiasm level look like? And also the same thing, drop passes, fumbles and things of that nature. These are all things you can control. On the offense, it'll be more vanilla. It'll be more like it was last week. They're not trying to show anything. Kafka and Petzing. The one-up and the advantage that they have right now as new offensive coordinators is you're trying to figure out what they're going to do. They're going to keep it that way. But on defense, you'll see that 4-2-5. You'll see them roll that out there. You'll see Devin White. You'll see some communications, and you'll see what this defense has a chance to look like. Watching that secondary. So control the controllables, and is it smooth? Is it rhythm? And is it flow? Kind of the same words that Dan Campbell's been talking about on these clips.
True.
B-Lad, they keep rolling in.
Keep rolling
$10 super
Hey,
chat.
10.
Eric R. 5299. Shout out Woodward for being legit.
Hey, now.
We appreciate you. That goes a very long way. We have fought very hard. Each show, you're talking about Neil Rules, Sean Belize, you're talking about the heavyweight, you're talking about our owner, you're talking about Satawa, you're talking about the guys that put in work that you don't see on the desk. We've done a lot of work to get that legitimacy, so we appreciate comments like that.
Middle-aged sneaker chick with
There
a
she
$10 super chat. What up, no fam? Bam! That's it. That's the post.
I appreciate
Hey,
that.
appreciate you.
Sometimes you just want to hear from your friends and your family. So good to hear from
Right.
the middle-aged sneaker chick.
And then it looks like the last one. So right now, for the moment, Batman, Easy, My Robin, $2 super chat. Why didn't he just run away?
He's talking about
Dark?
Jackson Dark.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, he didn't see it.
No, he did not see it.
Like when you're in that space, you're legitimately taught this is how the play is going to work. If this comes, this happens. If this comes, this happens. And then sometimes there are blitzers that are the quarterback's responsibility. If you see it, then you get your ass out of there. That particular play, that was on the running back. So he never took a second look. He never thought to look that way because he assumed that it was going to be protected. And like John Harbaugh said, it was not.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Hey, and while we're here in the NFC North, let me show you this incredibly weird but true stat here. Wild but true. In the last 10 years, the NFC North has the best regular season record but the worst playoff record in the NFL.
That makes sense.
The regular season, obviously, they are above 500 at 526, but in the playoffs, they are 370 with 0-5 in the NFC Championship.
It sucks and it makes sense. The reason why it makes sense, the Vikings, you know what to expect out of them. They're, with the exception that 1 year, they're losing in the first round. That's what they typically do. The Bears, with the exception of last year, they lose in the first round. This is exactly what they do. The Lions held it down for a little bit, but 2 years ago, not necessarily the thing. And the team that goes to the NFC Championship the most, they also drop turds the most in the NFC Championship, and that would be Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers. It just is what it is.
It's crazy
That's
to see.
tough, though.
I kind of feel like
is tough.
the divisions that the Detroit teams are in are always the weakest.
You
like
hate
the
to
Tigers are in the AL Central, Pistons were in the East.
Yeah.
Like, you see.
Is it the Midwest?
It
Is
could
it the
be. I mean,
Midwest?
Is it the Midwest?
It could be. Yeah. Honestly, the medium to mid-market size teams, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not all there. It's not that you don't have the big city flash. I mean, you have Chicago. I'd say that's your big city, Midwestern team.
Absolutely.
But, historically, obviously, we all know what the Lions have been like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, this, I guess in a way it makes sense, but it is pretty crazy to think about in this aspect, no doubt about.
I'll make it make sense even further, though. This is the last 10 years. How about we just do this? Just go all the way back. If you go all the way back, okay, you only have 4 Super Bowls. No, excuse me, 5.
Yes.
Because Green Bay has 5.
Yeah.
They got 6 because the Bears got 1 and they believe they have 10.
Yeah.
Like the Bears act like the Packers when they're not.
The Green Bay technically runs the show right now.
The Vikings have been 4 times. Guess what? They lost 4.
That's pretty crazy.
And then the Lions have never been. So if you go through the history, this stat checks out. You got Green Bay with 5, and you got the Bears with 1.
Wow. Yeah, I guess it does check out here.
Ugh.
You want to give some punters some love real quick?
Shout out to Jack Fox.
Look at Jack Fox on the top of this list. So it's probably a little bit hard to see for you, but basically where he is at is
I see he's close to the front. That's all that matters.
That is all that matters, 100% in this list right now. But this is like, obviously as the list goes down, that's their touchback rate. Every time they punt the ball, they are getting a touchback more, of the times.
Oh, here we go.
And then, there you go. Perfect. There you go. And then obviously the bottom is inside 20%, inside the 20. And that's Jack Fox there at the top there.
Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
As elite in everything. And I honestly, I don't really remember if I ever have seen Jack Fox put a punt in the end zone.
You know what's funny? Look at the best teams in the NFL are all on that red line. Like last year, Broncos were the best team. Rams were the best team. Chargers were a playoff team. Super Bowl
I remember
winner.
the Rams struggled in their special teams area last year.
True, but not in touchbacks as it relates to
Right,
punts.
right.
They sucked in coverage.
They did.
And field goals to a certain extent. The
And
Patriots
catching.
are right there. The Texans are right there. All the winners are on this line with the exception of Nobody, because the Jets, Baltimore, nobody up there except the Carolina Panthers made the playoffs.
Poor Browns, man.
Jets didn't make it. Baltimore didn't make it. Bengals didn't make it. Commanders, Falcons, Lions, of course. Kansas City. None of them made it.
Shout out to Jack Fox, though. Let's go.
Yeah, shout out to Jack. Seems like this the line
you get fired up for the punter, B-Lad. I love it.
Hey, man. Hey, you got to take your micro wins.
This
is the NFL, baby.
I like
Jack. Team special players.
Jack Fox is one of those guys that's good on command, and what I mean by that is we do this Grand Prix kickoff event every year. In fact, you guys know about it because Neil Rule. Shout out to Neil Rule. Catch him on Big D Energy in the mornings. He and Sean Belizean do a hell of a job, 8 to 10. He beat my squad in the foaling competition. That was the pre-kickoff. 3 years ago at the kickoff, they had Jack Fox and Bates out there,
and I beat him.
And he was actually punting. He was actually punting his kicks in the pit stop lane is what they call it. Where the car, he was punting in the pit stop lane, and I'm talking about he was nailing bombs. And he had people out there trying to catch him. You see, like, old ladies get hit in the face.
Knocking geese
out. It was
out
crazy.
The air.
But
shout out Jack Fox.
They asked him on demand. Said, "Hey, would you punt a couple?" Yeah, no problem. Boom, boom. That's awesome. So shout out to Jack Fox.
So Bray,
on command.
I do have one more if we have time. Do you want to run through this one? It's Dan Campbell talking about Terron Arnold. Or do you want to save that?
So,
you want to run that?
No. So let's do it.
All right. I'm going to play this audio right now. This is Dan Campbell on Terron Arnold.
This answer commercial break Tigers.
Absolutely. Let's run it.
I know he's no longer here, but you did have a relationship with Terrion. Are you surprised that he was able to get an opportunity in Seattle at all?
No, I'm not surprised. Every team's they're going to do their due diligence, just like we would if we were in their seat, like Seattle or New York or whoever. We would have done the same thing, man. Let's see if we can find out whatever we can. We know that him coming out, we know he's a good kid. He's got ability. He's got all these. We've seen him on tape. So, no, I'm not surprised by that, And, look, I have no ill will whatsoever towards Terry. I wish him the best, man. And I wish everything and everyone the best in that whole situation, man. That's it's the best way to put it.
To you personally on that?
No.
So we apologize for the beginning of it. Basically, Dan Campbell asked about did he hear Terron Arnold signing with the Seattle Seahawks, and is he surprised by that? And then you heard Dan Campbell's response, basically saying no, he wasn't surprised.
Not surprised.
The thing about this is when you hear that, one, coaches love their kids, and what I mean by that, the guys they draft, the guys that come up underneath, the guys that they instill conversation or have conversations or talk to their parents at some point in time. Terron Arnold's number one pick in 2024. They have conversations with the mom, the dad, the sister, the family. So when he says this is genuine. It also lets you know that he did not have control over the decision to get rid of Terron Arnold before he got all the details of the case. So that was Dan Campbell being as genuine as he could. He loves Terron Arnold. He is one of his guys and always will be. That was a very heartfelt and genuine response. And this is, hey, look, he's my guy, but it wasn't up to me in so many words.
Yeah.
In so many words.
It definitely wasn't Dan Campbell's call, nor
it's the ownership.
Exactly right. It's not there. Dan Campbell gave the most honest answer possible, and he took everything that he knew. Obviously, a team like Seattle, for example, is going to jump all over that opportunity. That's the first overall pick 2 years ago. He's still young, still has if he can play, he still can play. As of right now, I know he's on the exemption list from the commissioners, but that's only temporary. So obviously he has to do whatever he has to do on his end before he goes and do the whole process. But of course, a team like Seattle is going to go after him.
We know what this is. The Ford family, they have a zero tolerance policy as it relates to BS. They always have. They always will. You know that 1,000%. Especially when that guy that is set getting in trouble isn't an all-pro or isn't a Pro Bowler or isn't providing you 6 interceptions and 14 pass deflections. You get that? Maybe it's a different conversation. All right, look, let's take a commercial break, and when we get back, college. I forgot about that. I skipped over that to Tigers.
Well, we got time for both. So
you know what? You heard Justin. We have time for both.
Hey.
How about you give me a message in from, are you up? Are you ready?
Mad Packs,
you locked
baby.
and loaded?
Are the Packs mad or what?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you about Mad Packs. I actually have their brand new product right here, and let me tell you, I tried it this weekend, and it was the perfect thing on a night out. When you take one of these, you can just sit there, enjoy it. I went to a concert, and it was fantastic. I had the best time. So get ready, because the Boom Shakalaka 200 milligram hash rosin gummies and the high-low 200 milligram live resin gummies are here, and they have great flavors like the cherry slushy. It went down easy, and it was nice and chill. So make sure you tap in with Mad Packs. They have the perfect addition to your summer plans. It was the perfect to mine, so let it be the perfect addition to yours. Mad flavor, mad high, Mad Packs. Learn more at getmadpacks.com. The Boom Shakalaka live resin hash rosin gummies. Make sure you tap in with them today.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
You're building a whole combat sports enterprise in the heart of it in Detroit, and that's what I think is the coolest.
I think with opportunity, right? Like you said, maybe you like to punch people in the face for real, and you know, you want to be a boxer, and you have an option there. Maybe you don't like getting punched in the face, and you want to make, you know, you like the theatricals and the storylines, and so you have an avenue here. Maybe you start at one and then want to change to the other. I don't care. I just want you in the building and know that you have some place to go to explore that. Just having the ability to, what do you want to do and how do you want to do it to the best of your ability? And, you know, it all, to me, it all starts with the kids.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Ha! Let me tell you about Loom. This is the place to go when you are looking to fill your cannabis needs and you need to tap in with their new product, the Buzzin' Energy. All buzz, no hangover, 7.5 milligrams of THC, 100 milligrams of caffeine, coming from green tea extract. That's right, clean caffeine. They got peach and raspberry lemonade, two great summer flavors, so make sure you tap in with them. Also, WSN 30, get that discount to make sure that you can save some money when you go into Loom. There's no dispensary like it. Scan the QR code on top of my head. 40 locations across the great state of Michigan, from all the way down here in the Metro Detroit area, all the way up to the great place of Petoskey. Tap in at loom.com and get yourself high and some Loom.
Definitely shout out to Loom. Shout out to Loom. They do a really good job of the discounts. They do a really good job of taking care of you, and they do a really good job of the product. The product is legit when you go to Loom. So do yourself a favor, mention Woodward Sports, and take yourself down there. I'll try to do my best answering. Shout out to MJ. You go right here, 12 miles, ask for MJ. MJ will take care of you at that new state-of-the-art Loom that they have. Back to the show. Let's go to college football. So shift gears a little bit. College football. Woo! Justin, you have something prepared. Oh, he's standing up.
No,
he's
B-Lad
excited.
does. B-Lad.
You start walking over. I got a little excited. Here we go. B-Lad, you have stuff for college football. Are you excited about the college football season? Is it one of those things because of the new format, because of the transfer portal, because of the NIL, because of not necessarily continuously knowing or having a familiarity with these schools, does it make it tough to get excited?
I do
or
feel
BS?
like to a certain extent.
No,
but listen.
I'm cutting you off.
No,
I'm cutting you off. No,
I wasn't done.
No.
I had
this is the first year. This is the first
know.
year in the 12-team playoff where there's a legitimate 8 teams that could win the national championship, and that is exciting. The NAL has flattened the playing field for teams that can't afford it, and teams that can't afford it are now making a run at titles. And when you look at the landscape, you have Notre Dame, Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon,
Georgia.
Miami, Georgia, Alabama,
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Welcome.
Ole Miss. I said Texas.
Yeah.
All these teams are on could win the national championship respectively, and that is exciting. This is the first because when we were in the 14 playoff era, we saw games that were ridiculous. The 1-4 game, it seemed like time after time it'd be blow
Cincinnati,
after blow.
Alabama,
Yep.
Oklahoma,
LSU. It's just. Now there's so much parity. B-Lad, I apologize for cutting you off. I was honestly hoping that Braylon was going to kick it to me.
I'm going to push back.
Okay.
On 8 teams being able to win it. I'm going to push back on 8 teams being able to win it. You don't think there's any overrated teams in the top 10 or the top 15? You think there's some overrated, overhyped?
I do. I think there is. And
okay.
Legitimately, and if we have it right here. Legitimately... No, I legitimately think 7 teams could win the national title. I think that from 1 to 7, right there, I think every single one of those teams could win the national title.
I think
all of them have a quarterback. All of them have a defense. This is some of the best quarterback play in terms of the best quarterbacks in the country that we've ever seen.
Oregon's got to replace their defensive coordinator and their offensive coordinator. And they lack a little bit of that talent on defense.
I know, and if Oregon's your only pushback, I know. But
I started it too.
I know, that's okay. Yeah. If Oregon's the only team you push back on, I could legitimately make a case for Texas A&M.
Miami.
I could legitimately make a case for Ole Miss.
No.
Come on.
They got a whole new coach in Pete Golding.
Yeah, but they have an easy schedule, and they still have the best quarterback in the country. You can't knock them out on that.
I'm not Trinidad Chambers and a new coach. I don't know that much about Pete Golding, except he comes from a football family. Al Golding is his brother.
LSU most expensive roster in college football. Alabama, I think Alabama is
Alabama.
scary.
I think they're underrated. I agree.
All right, and then I could convince you of Oklahoma as well. If you really made me,
that's a reach.
Okay,
all right, shut up. Come on, you hook him.
T-Tech and
Louisville.
Oh, you still sucks.
This is my thought process. Boy, he's hooking him over there hard. Mario Cristobal coming off the national championship runner-up last year. Okay, maybe Miami did something last year. Maybe he proved that he could get there. So maybe I'll lessen on the Miami. Texas A&M has got to show me. Ole Miss has got to show me, and
I like T-Tech.
Ole Miss has got to show you coming off a national semifinal appearance.
They replaced their head coach. It's not like they replaced the coach that was just good, just decent. You're talking about winning games. Lane Kiffin knows how to win games, except the big game. Lane Kiffin has set that program in motion, and they basically have his ideology to replace a head coach. At a collegiate, we've seen it.
Yep.
We've seen the fall off sometimes from replacing a coach like that at a school like that. So I would just say I got to see. That's fair.
And I think that's fair.
That's fair.
But we did see him beat Kirby Smart in a playoff game last year, and I think that deserves some credit. All right, that deserves some credit. All right.
Georgia's going to be a problem.
Dude, Georgia's going to be
their
a
defense,
problem. Oh yeah.
First of all, Georgia's defense this year is like the old Alabama. Georgia when there was no NIL and they were paying players under the table.
Yep.
They go about 10 deep on that defensive line this year, including that linebacker core. I'm excited to see what they are. Oklahoma, Cam, here's a little pushback. Here's a little pushback for you.
We'll see when they come to the big house.
Oklahoma's defense. We will. Unfortunately,
we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out quick.
Oklahoma's defensive line is probably top 3 in the country. Top 3, 4.
Best linebacking core in the country.
And that part right there, the linebacking core mixed in with now Mateer also has a left tackle that they went and got Trail something from Virginia. Hey, Oklahoma's going to be an issue. But I don't trust Brent Venables, to your point.
All right. If legitimately,
Ohio State, yes.
All right, we'll do contender or pretender. Contender.
Ohio State right now, yes, 100%.
And national championship contender, not playoff contender.
Oregon.
I'm gonna say yes.
I have my reservations, but Lanning has won 10 games every single year. He knows what he's doing. Fine. I won't push back, but I have reservations. Georgia.
I think they're the fringe, and I think they're overranked in this.
Georgia. You think Oregon is overranked?
Well, I think
I agree. I would have Oregon 6.
Yeah. I'd have him behind Indiana. I'd have him.
Yeah, because I would switch. I would have Indiana ahead of Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, so Notre Dame.
Yes.
Check. Texas.
Yes.
Arch Manning, year 3.
I'm in. This is the first year I'm actually in on a Texas team.
See, they did spend like $40 million on their defense alone.
Last year I called 9-3.
They've done that the last couple.
You can ask.
So did T-Tech.
You can ask Sean. We sat on the morning show on the college football preview, and me and Sean both said 9-3 Texas last year.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I think that, but this year
different.
It's different. Like this, it's the year too early thing. There's so many times everyone's a year too early, and I think last year everyone was a year too early on Arch. This year, I think Archie Boy is going to look really damn good.
All right, well, you're the resident Longhorn, if you will. Yeah, Talk to me.
Arch is more mature. He definitely laid an egg at the beginning of the last season, but Sarks has that team humming, and Austin and DKR. They ready, y'all.
Eventually, one of these national championships that you're going to pay for, somebody's going to get it. I guess you could say Indiana got it last year. But that money that they spend in Texas, I'm tired of these Texas teams, whether it's Tech, A&M, or the Longhorns, spending 30, 40, SMU? $50 million. Well, I'm not worried about them. Yeah, spending 30, 40, $50 million, and then you get left holding the bag at the end. But, all right, I'll give you Texas. Indiana, I'm in on.
Yep.
Indiana, I'm in on. Miami.
I'm in on Miami. You're
too.
not. I mean, I'm a big Mensa guy. I think Mensa's very good,
solid,
and I think they're gonna be more offensively reliant this year because
the U is back.
But I'm on the U is back train. I think they run away with the ACC again.
Unless Johnny Manziel is playing in College Station, I'm not buying.
I know, honestly,
I think Louisville.
Marcel Reed, was playing so well in the beginning of the season, and then just
so Texas
fell the hell off. You're hilarious, Cam. I love you, man.
Ole Miss, I think, is a good team, but I got to see what that looks like.
If you're making me pick from 8 on, I'm telling you, I'm taking
13.
Bama.
I'm
taking Bama. Yeah. I believe in this Alabama team. I'm not gonna lie. Regardless of who they play at quarterback.
Don't sleep on 15 and don't sleep on 22.
No, yeah, 15's. I told Sean that I think they're gonna make the playoff. I think they're gonna be the third Big Ten team. I think that, or the fourth Big Ten team. I think last year they only got 3 in. I think this year they're gonna get 4, and the Big Ten or the SEC's can get one less team. No.
What does that look like this year for them? And you saw their schedule. Obviously, of the schedule, they're playing 1, 2, 6, 18,
10.
and 22, and 10. Hardest schedule in college football right now.
My heart wants to say 9-3.
Nah, we ain't playing by the heart.
I know. Well, I'm getting 9-3. No, we don't play 9-3 with the heart though. I honestly think it's 8-4.
Okay.
I think we're better than we were last year, and I think that we show legitimate growth, and we play we beat Penn State, we beat Iowa, we have a couple top 25 wins, but at the end of the day, I think even everyone thinks that we're gonna beat Indiana, but I think that people don't understand how good that Indiana team's gonna be again.
They're not gonna beat them. Let me ask you this: where do Michigan and Iowa play? Where do Michigan and Iowa play?
In the Big House.
Okay.
If it was at Iowa, it would have been a different story.
I would have said Iowa.
Yeah, I do, but
okay.
I'm telling you, they're not winning in Autzen.
So 1, 2, 3.
I don't think they're winning in Columbus because they don't care about the rivalry. And then,
speaking of that,
did you guys not even talk about that?
We haven't. We saved it for you.
Oh well,
let's go.
It should be what your opinion on it. I mean, who cares about my opinion? But if you want my opinion, I think that's just some soft BS, to be completely honest.
Do you want to go on a break real quick and come back with that?
It's all right, 354.
We do have amnesia. Gold crown.
Probably shouldn't do that then. Probably should wait till tomorrow.
Save it for tomorrow?
Yeah.
It won't be an elongated conversation out of me for this one. I think the first time he spoke was 2 weeks ago. We talked about it. When we talk about Kyle Whittingham, I believe that the topic is getting a little bit redundant. But I also see this one kind of different.
Yeah.
So I'm actually I don't know if I'm gonna rip him a new one for it. So you just want to wait till tomorrow?
Yeah. And then
talk about Bryce Underwood's comments.
Before we hit the ad reads, just quickly rip through your overrated, underrated of this list.
He's like,
because we have 5 minutes still.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take 2 minutes to do the ad reads.
All right.
Rip it real quick.
I'll rip it. I'll give you what I think real quick. I'll put it back on you guys so the chat can see.
Okay.
contender. I say 1 contender, 2 contender, 3 contender.
No, overrated or underrated. The teams that you said you were going to come with.
Okay, my dark horse, Louisville. I think they're going to give Miami a run for their money. They spent above, I want to say, $33 million this offseason.
What did Louisville get?
Yeah, they had some big donors come in. And,
I guess it's horse racing down
and
there.
they do have some. And listen, I do have a little bit of bias. I kind of like Louisville. I got some family born and raised in Kentucky. They were all Louisville fans. Iowa, I'm on the same boat as Braylon with. I do think that's another dark horse in the Big Ten that's going to just pop out of nowhere.
And show ninjas.
Yes, and another dark horse and a team that I like that I don't think they will be affected by what happened this offseason is T-Tech. They spent way too much money on that defense, and we saw what happened last year. I'm not big on Alabama, though. I am not big on Alabama. I think Kalen DeBoer is on the hot seat. I don't really like their running things over there. I think quarterback might be a little bit more of an issue than what people think. I also don't buy the hype of BYU.
I think Keon Russell.
Their defensive coordinator's gone, man.
BYU, they I feel like they're always preseason AP poll merchants, and they just never follow through with it. Penn State, I'm still not bought in. Although I do like Matt Campbell, I don't think they have the personnel-wise. They did spend a little bit of money, but I don't think they're going to have up to par seasons like maybe Michigan might had in the last couple of years as well. They might be in the same boat, but I don't think Michigan's too overly effective we saw what happened with Michigan State and the West Coast coach coming in and kind of switch things up. I don't think that will happen with Whittingham. I think he'll adjust nicely to the Big Ten, especially because he brought over a bunch of his crew as well. I kind of agree with Justin. I want to say 9-3 for Michigan. I'm completely unbiased towards this. Michigan's still a great team, but I wouldn't be surprised if I see an 8-4 season. Stuff like that.
Hey! Michigan's still a great university.
I agree.
In terms of a great team, no, they're a good team trying to find. They're a team trying to find themselves. They are. I wouldn't say great.
All right, let me.
They have a really good coach.
Let me hit a couple of those. Texas Tech. I think there's just no one who's in the class of them in the Big 12.
Correct.
It's just how it is, and that's how it's going to be with the moolah. BYU, I think that you're wrong about that one. They're going to be good. Regardless, their offense is what made them go last year with their freshman quarterback, Bear, and then their running back, L.J. Barton, who's one of the best in the country. I think they're going to be good, just not good enough to make the playoff. Remember, they sat outside the play. They've been sitting out just outside the playoff the last 2 years.
True, that is true.
So that team, they're still. I mean, they're 14. That's exactly where they're going to end the season, between 14 and 18.
Okay.
I think Louisville. It depends on Keenholz. There's not enough on him to know exactly what Louisville is going to do. But if Keenholz is any type of good, they'll be good. Iowa. I think they're overrated. I don't agree with either of you guys. I do not think Iowa's going to be that good.
Okay.
And then what was the other one you said, B-Lad?
I
think they're underrated.
SMU?
Underrated. Right here, 19, SMU. And I think Kalen Russell's the truth. I think that you're underrating them as well. This is still Alabama.
It's still Alabama, but we saw the drop-off.
Do this. Amnesia, and I want to ask you thoughts. Why is it fun to watch Tigers baseball?
All right.
Now.
Yep. I'll rip through these really, really quick here. Let me tell you about Gold Crown, everybody. Stop everything you're doing because Gold Crown just went completely overboard, but in the best way possible. We're talking about 1.5 grams each, quad infused, keef coated live resin infused THC diamonds and terpenes. All new Royal Jesters. Michigan made, top tier, no shortcuts. Next time you're at the dispo, don't think, just ask for the Royal Jesters because if you're going to smoke, you are going to smoke like royalty. And if you want to feel like royalty while relaxing in one of the massage chairs from Massage Chair House, you got to check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. Be sure to visit Dr. Eric Duncan, the wellness doc and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code above my head. Massage Chair House, your ultimate ticket to recovery and relaxation. And one more, ladies and gentlemen, I am not done just yet. One more for the people in the back there. Amnesia is bringing a whole new meaning to a smooth finish. Say hello to the 1.5 gram bubble hash glass tip infused blunt. It is the latest addition to the rapidly growing Amnesia lineup and available at all local dispensaries. It is just a smoother way to stand out. Boom.
And it is 4 o'clock. We're going to wrap this show up. Last question. Why are the Tigers fun to watch?
Young, unpredictable.
Yes.
In the hunt.
Same?
Yep. In the hunt is a huge factor.
Same sweet potato can?
Oh, yeah. 100.
I think for me, as we wrap the show up, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Thank you for smashing that like button. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for sending the super chats to give yourself a chance to win the Gibbs jersey. Watch us go.
We got a few to read off here, B.
Okay, the fun thing about watching the Tigers, I think, at this point is I think you're seeing young guys that are going to be on this team for years to come. Yep. I think that's what I think I think the Tigers over the past 5, 6, 7 years, you're watching guys that aren't going to be here, aren't necessarily that good. You're trying to find work, patchwork, if you will. You're hearing so much about the guys in the farm system. Now you're seeing it. Now you see guys. Now you see young players. They're going to be here for a while. That's why it's fun to me. Sweet Potato Cam, clean them up before we get up out of here.
You betcha. $5 super chat by Batman Easy My Robin. Thank G.O.D. Cat's shitbox isn't in the chat. Worst takes than before. Sound like some beef going on.
It is. I like that. They got their own beef going on.
The chat does have some beef.
Rando Smalls with the $5 super chat with golf protection so important. Do you think they may use two backs or a full back to stay in and block?
Problem is, I don't know if they have a blocking back right now.
They don't.
That was David Montgomery's thing. They don't have another guy that fits that bill that can pick up the blitz, that can block and be sure. I think then you'll see a lot of that 12 personnel out of him. You'll see 2 tight ends to help out, if you will.
And $5 super chat by She Loves Me on Payday.
Hey, there we go.
Gotta be in it to win it. I want that jersey. Go Lions.
You gotta be in it to win it. And you know what? I'm gonna take that same conversation. I'm gonna place it on the Lions. You got to be in the dance to win it. Let's get to these playoffs and figure it out, man. Look, for Justin Satawa, who did a hell of a job.
Yes, sir. Tap into Woodward Wings. 15 minutes.
B-Lad switching over, handling the TD positions today. And Sweet Potato Cam, great job by you. A lot of stuff that he does during the show you can't see because he's dipping, he's dodging, he's ducking, he's making sure things are had, whether it's headphones, napkins, tissue, water, conversation, just the vibe. They often say when Cam leaves the room, so does the vibe. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.